Yo dudes, it is Blake from Green Knuckles Across. Welcome back to another video, and today I'll be showing you guys my two favorite patterns for the ECD Weapon X face-off head. One simple, one advanced, both excellent pockets, and they both work best with Faceoff Specific mesh, such as ECD Hero 2.0 Faceoff mesh and String King 4F, and it's highly recommended to use crosslace instead of sidewall string for both these patterns. Crosslace is much thinner than sidewall string and lays flatter to the head, thus helping prevent the ball from getting stuck. For those asking what kind of crosslace I use and where I get it from, boom, here you go. Okay, we're ready to start the standard pattern for the ECD Weapon X. Before I get started, I would like to say a few things. One, I know this isn't crosslace. I ran out of crosslace, but for the purpose of this video, I'm just using the strings that came with the stringing kits. Two, this is a 9-diamond top string, which is going to be used for both patterns. Three, like I always say, feel free to adjust where you put your knots at throughout the head. Your knot placement is going to be based on your personal preference. So if these patterns aren't feeling right for you, just play around with where you put the knots at throughout the head and make sure it feels right. And lastly, for both these patterns, we won't be doing any sort of looping around the plastic like this, simply because this head's asymmetrical and these sidewall struts come in contact at different points in the head on both sides. If I decide to put a loop here on this side of the head, it won't fit on this side, and I like to keep my pockets symmetrical. I don't like to play around with different knots in different areas on either side. I like it to be the same on both sides, so for that reason I am not going to be doing any sort of loops throughout both these patterns. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and get started. We have our very top sidewall hole occupied with the top string tie down. Our second is a skip. Our third is our sidewall tie down. We're now going to go ahead and skip the fourth and do an SI on the fifth. If you guys don't know how to do an SI, check out ECD. They have plenty of videos on how to do standard knots. That's all this pattern is going to be, is standard knots. So we have that tied down. We're then going to skip the next sidewall hole and SI that following one. Just like that. We're then going to do one final skip. We're going to skip this sidewall hole and SI this one. Just like that. For the remainder of the pocket, we're going to do single ups. I like to come down through the mesh when I do mine. So down, we're not skipping any holes. Tie that up, down through the next piece, again, if I'm going way too fast for you guys, which I probably am for most, you need to know how to do these basic knots in order to do this pattern. Check out ECD, they got plenty of videos on how to do these. So we just finished our SIs from this point down, and we're now down to our last sidewall hole. So what we're going to do here is go down through the next 10 diamond row mesh. And we're going to come through this sidewall like so, and our string is going to be to the inside of the head. We're then going to come down through the closest bottom string hole, like that. And we're going to tie off on the back of the head. So we have our knot tied off down here at the bottom string, and this is what our sidewall should look like. Just a bunch of singles. The reason why I chose singles over SIs is because I found that SIs tend to slip to the inside of the head much easier than singles do. Singles tend to stay to the outside of the head much better, so that was the reason why I chose those over SIs. And that is your first pattern for the ECD Weapon X, the standard version. Kind of a mid-low pocket. It's got a really nice and tight channel to it. And yes, it is legal. It does look deep on camera, but it's legal. Alright, now for the advanced pattern for the Weapon X. Top sidewall hole is our tie down for our top string. Second is our skip. Third is our sidewall string tie down. 4th is a skip, 5 is an SI, 6 is a skip, 7 is our last SI. For the next knot, we're going to go down through the next 10 diamond row mesh. We're going to skip one sidewall hole, come through the next one, then come back out through that sidewall hole that we just skipped, and then back up through that 10 diamond row mesh. Pull that tight. There you go. We're going to do the same thing for the next knot, so I'll take this one slow. Down through the next 10 diamond row mesh. We're not going to skip a sidewall hole this time. We're going to go through the following sidewall hole, like so. Pull it through, and then come back out through that top sidewall hole just above it, and then come out the top of that same 10 diamond row mesh and pull that tight. Like that. That's the inside so far. The next two knots are going to be the same exact knots as the one we just did. Now we're at the point of the head where things start to get a little bit trickier. Since these sidewall holes are spaced out further than how they were up here, we're going to have to double up on our knots. So for our next knot, we're going to go down through the next 10 diamond row mesh, and then without going through the head, we're going to do the same exact thing for the following 10 diamond row mesh. Push the pocket a bit. We're then going to go through the next sidewall hole right here, pull it through, and then we're going to come back out through this sidewall hole up here, and then instead of going through this 10 diamond row, we're going to come through this one, up and down, pull it tight. So if we flip this around to the inside, the bridge size should be pretty big right here compared to these up here. We're then going to do our last and final knot down here at the bottom of the head. We're going to do the same exact thing that we just did. So we're going to go through the next two 10 diamond rows of mesh without going through the head. We're going to skip this sidewall hole, come through this one, then come back out through the one that we just skipped. Again, instead of going through this 10 diamond, we're going to go through this one. Like so. Pull tight. Just like that. Now the inside of the head should have this gap in the plastic right there, and the bridge should be the same size as the one right there. Now to finish this knot off, since we don't have any more sidewall holes, we're going to go through that very last and final sidewall hole, the one that we just came out of. Pull it tightly through, and then we're going to go down through the closest bottom string hole and pull that tight, and then we're going to knot off right down there, and you should have your last bridge right there. Once you have your knot tied off down here, this is what your sidewall should look like, just like this, and on the inside, just like that. And there you have it. That is your advanced stringing pattern for the ECD Weapon X. And that wraps up this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you decide to use one of these patterns, let me know down in the comments which ones you ended up choosing. And if you have an Instagram, go ahead and send me a picture of your final strung up Weapon X with your selected pattern, and I'll be sure to post it on our page. If you have any questions about the patterns used in this video or any questions in general, be sure to leave them in the comment section below. Like and share this video, subscribe to our channel, and if you haven't already, check us out on Instagram at GreenKnucklesLacrosse, and check out our website at greenknucklesLacrosse.com for some sweet hats. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Till then, kids, get dirty.